So you're about to watch me build a template from scratch. And so I flipped British Vogue February 2022 issue celebrating Black models into a Notion template. And I love doing content flips. Here's one that I'm adapting that I did previously for Guatma, unofficially, but just in homage, but I'm borrowing the same structure for essentially. So I'm switching out the title and the image and, like changing all the content. Oh, I really like this sort of like news paper style, like header, I should say. I don't know what you call it. So I think initially here I thought so I had originally put the like Guat mag like article bit in a topple, but I there's not much text on this one, and so I'm just gonna put it in a call out block, and I'm gonna do my fave call out block technique where I turned it into text essentially. And what I'm doing here is that I want the names of the models to stand out. And so I was playing around with color. I really liked the black and the brown effect. And it took a lot of copying and pasting to get right. That looks good. I made the text bigger as well, made it a H3. Cool. So going back to the article, and oh no, now I was finding the front cover. This is so funny watching myself back, by the way. I'm like, oh my god, what was I doing? So I'm pasting the front cover. Stunning. And now I'm going to drag database to the other side to like make it columns. And now I'm just replacing each of the previous names with the names of the model. And then I realized doing it one by one would take way too long. So obviously I just deleted all the rows at once. And yeah, I love doing content flips like this because they really make me think outside of the box. And you can do this with like listicles work particularly well. I flipped 99 sustainable swaps article from the Good Trade. I'll link it down below. That's done really, really well. All right. And so we're pasting names right now. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm just like duplicating it. This would be so much quicker. But yeah, I encourage you to just find articles that you like and then transform them into intuitive Notion content, essentially. Right. And so over here, I was deciding like what columns it would be useful to have and like what views it would be useful to have. So I thought I just needed two views. I needed like the table view because I was doing all the data entry, and then I wanted a gallery view. And so now I started doing the painstaking task of basically I wanted to put all of the model profiles in their own page. So get the text in the article, the Instagram image, the Instagram link. And so I eventually, you'll see, I developed like more efficient ways of doing this. Like I thought I was going to do it one by one. And then I was like, nah, I do not have all day. So this whole thing actually took me about just over an hour. Sometimes it takes a bit longer, depending on how much content there is. But this one took me just over an hour. Cool. So my process would be that like I also look how stunning all these girls are. Oh my god. And they're all really young as well. I was like, I'm 25. What am I doing with my life? Anyways, you know what? No, no green eye. They're all killing the game. But yeah. So I would drag all of the images into their pages. I don't know why, but on the website, which made my life difficult, the Vogue website, you couldn't see the Instagram images, and I was like, "What is this? Like, why? Like, this just makes my job like 10 times longer." It was long. But anyways, each one is being dragged into its own page, and I'm kind of glad that there weren't a ton to do. All right, nearly there. Like a bit about me whilst we're just like watching me copy and paste. I like the dream is to like do big brand collabs one day, you know? Oh, now we're going to the juicy bit. So in the original pages, I had these really cool like profile pages laid out for all of the original like Guap Mag nominees. You know, Guap Mag, if you wanna make this an official collab for next year, holler at me. But anyways, now my process was copying and pasting the text that came from the Vogue article into the same layout for Guatmad, just because like if it's not broke, don't fix it. Oh, and I had to change the label to go back to the homepage. I really wanted to choose like a brown cover image just to like go with the color theme and the vibe. And so now, yes, the big task for me was copying and like pasting. And before I was rudely interrupted by my process before, yeah, the future is I would love to do big brand collaborations, maybe for British Vogue. Again, holler at me if you're watching this. Edward Enningfall. I'm also Ghanaian, so you know. Because Notion is such an easy way to create cool resources, and I've used it way too much. Like that I just like know how to kind of maneuver the toolbox, if you will, to like get the point across in the best way, essentially. Like it is a little bit of a learning curve, and with practice, you start to think in Notion. It's kind of is it sad? It's really nerdy. It's really nerdy. Like I will own up to that. But I love it because I can create cool things like this. I love just like making people think outside the box for what Notion like is. Like a lot of people say that Notion is a productivity tool because like it replaces things like Trello and Asana, and majority of the work that I do as a certified Notion consultant is like client workspaces. So I build virtual offices for people, or I build client portals, or things that they can share with investors, like pages that they can share with investors. I love building digital products. You know, like, okay, so like, cool, I can do the productivity thing. I have lots of ops, project management experience, but I always try and merge kind of my passions in there with Notion. So, like, I love good design, good UX, good UI. And so, even when I'm building all that productive stuff, I prioritize also making it look good. And then when I'm building my non-productive stuff, I love mixing in influences from pop culture and like fashion and travel, like all of the things that I love, and which leads me to make projects like this, essentially. And it's just such a cool resource that you can share with people. Like all of this is stored inside a link, right? And you could actually reuse this template if you wanted to, if you were, for example, you wanted like a team profile page, right? Where each person had their own page with like their image and like a little about them section. You know, you can make it cool. Like work doesn't have to be boring, right? Like it really doesn't. Okay, so I was looking at the gallery view here and I was like, oh, let's make these cards a little bit smaller. I kind of liked the look of like quite a few on a row. So I just made the cards a bit smaller. And then I was like, ah, yeah, I need to like credit myself. I always forget to do that. And so I was like linking to my webpage. And then I realized I had my like public synced block thing down there, and so I moved it to the top of the page. And then I always end up doing this in templates. I like, again, I mentioned aesthetics are just as important as like making it like look good, like making it work, you know? I hope you enjoyed watching me react to myself building a layout. I hope to do more of these in the video, but I just love building really cool things in Notion, and I'm excited to share more work for you. And if you have things that you want me to flip, like drop them in the comments. Actually, no, email them to me, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about working with me now. Cheers. But that's all for today. If you are curious about Notion and have never used it before, you can use my link, which will be in the description box below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Best way to get in touch with me is email. If you want to join my membership club, catch all my latest template releases or courses or any cool things I'm doing, best places to stay up to date with me would be my newsletter and Twitter and Instagram. And if you are curious about what I used to film this video, I've also linked my kit below. Thanks so much, and I will catch you soon. Let me know what you want me to do videos about. Yeah.